Can't dig like that in Tucson. The soil out here is absolutely excellent. It really is, as long as you can get past all the roots. A lot of you may see a lot of people, I don't know, in Home Depot or Lowe's or at the lumber yard. They're taking their lumber and they're going like this and they're going like this. I learned from a experienced carpenter when I was pretty young, Carpentry 101, and that is that every piece of stick lumber, I don't care if it's a 2x4, a 2x6, a 2x8, 2x10, 2x12, your stick or stud lumber, every single piece has a crown and a bow. When you take a 2x4 and you stand it upright and you sight down it, you can sight down and see it either curving down, or you turn it over and you see it kind of turns up. That's your crown. And then you take it and you hold it sideways and you look down it, you can see the bow. The bow in it is either going to go this way or it's going to go this way. Carpentry 101 that I learned is when you find your crowns and your bows, you're going to take your prominent bows and put them at every 4 feet. Because your prominent bows, you can pull over and straighten when you put either your exterior siding or your sheetrock or whatever it is, whether you're working exterior or interior. You take your 4-foot sheets of material, you take your prominent bows, you pull them over straight, and you nail it. Your crowns all go to the top. Every single crown goes to the top. When you're framing out a wall, you place all your crowns the same way. What I do when I check my lumber is I come in here, I find my crown, I check my bow, find my crown, I come in here and I'll put a star right there in the middle of the board. I know that this is my crown, and I'm going to put every single one of those crowned the same way. So when I come over here and frame this wall out, I'm going to put all my crowns the same way. I'm going to lift that wall, and in doing so, I'm going to make sure all my crowns go to the outside. It's typical to put your crowns either to the outside, or if you're building say like a porch, you want your crowns to the top. When you walk on it, you're going to be pushing down on the crown, not the dip in the board. As I mentioned the other day, you can see here I've marked a star. Here's a star. Here's a star. And here's the last star. Those are my marking the crown of the stud, and I face them all the same way and all to the outside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. I'm going to mark all of these J-bolts on center. I'm also going to mark my power inlet on center. I poured this concrete so that this bottom plate will set back 1.5 inches all the way around the outside of the walls. So by my knowing that, what I can do, set this down here. I'm going to come in here and mark exactly 1.5 inches. And then what I'll do now is I'll go back and measure from my line back to the center of my J-bolt, come over here, measure the same distance on the 2x4, drill it right there, and they all should line up. All right, now that I've got all my holes drilled, I'm going to dry fit it, or what you consider dry fitting. Yep, it's going to go just fine. Now I've got my bottom plate and my top plate. I've got them even at the end. And when I mark this out for all the studs, what I'll do is I'll mark them out both together. What I'm doing here is I'm going to run my studs on 2-foot centers. It's just a pump house. I don't have to go the studs on 16-inch centers. I'm just going to go 2 foot on center. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Well, at 12 feet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark back 3/4 of an inch from the 12 feet, put my X on this side of the mark. That will put that 2x4 exactly 12 feet on center. Okay, I've got all my studs for this wall. They're all crowned. The crowns are marked. I went ahead and measured out 78 inches. All of these studs on these walls are going to be 78 inches tall. They're all marked and squared off, so I'm going to get them cut. In this corner here, all I'm going to do is line them up this way, get them even here, and run some nails through this 2x4 right into here, just to line up this corner. See here where I brought my electric in. The gray one here is 240 volts, actually 230 volt, 30 amp that runs the well. I'm going to take this one and go this way, with this one. The yellow is 120 volts, 20 amps that I'm going to run this way, and I'm going to put a electric box right about here that's going to have 4 plugs in it, so that they can plug the filtration equipment into it. And then I'm also going to stem off of that and put a switch over there by the door, and then go up to a light where I could have a light in here as well.